Today is March 17th, 2023. The time is 6:49 a.m. and I want to share this article. Moderna CEO says Europe's delayed vaccine contract will slow delivery. Issued on November 2020. So that's November 17th, 2020. They do it backwards. Okay. The CEO of U.S. biotech company Moderna warned European countries Tuesday that dragging out negotiations to buy its promising COVID-19 vaccine will slow down deliveries as other nations that have signed deals will get priority. It's clear that with a delay, this is not going to limit the total amount, but it's going to slow down delivery, Stefan Bancho, a 48-year-old Frenchman, said in an interview with AFP. Moderna announced this week that its experimental vaccine is almost 95% effective in protecting people from the coronavirus, further boosting hopes of an end to the pandemic after Pfizer released similar findings last week about its vaccine. In coming weeks, both are expected to ask American, European, and other authorities for approval to roll out their vaccines for widespread use as the world reels from another surge in COVID-19 cases. Around the globe, the pandemic has claimed more than 1.3 million lives, and reported infections top 55 million. The United States is the worst hit in both categories in absolute terms, as fatalities approach 250,000 and the total caseload exceeds 11 million. Banchel said the U.S. has already reserved 100 million doses since early August, and several million doses are now in storage, awaiting U.S. regulatory approval, probably in December. Okay. Over the summer, Moderna engaged in discussions with the European Commission, the executive arm of the EU, about it buying 80 million doses of the vaccine, but no contract has been signed, Basil said from the company headquarters in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Americans most eager. In the meantime, Moderna, which developed this product in conjunction the National Institute of Health in the U.S., has signed agreements to provide the vaccine to Canada, Japan, Israel, Qatar, and Britain, he said. Bansal said there is much red tape involved in getting a vaccine approved, complicated by the EU having 27 member nations. By contrast, it took just 2 weeks to cement a deal on providing the vaccine to Canada from the time the two sides began talks to the signing of a contract. If EU medical regulatory authorities approve the Moderna vaccine by the end of the year, but no contract has been signed, the EU will not be among the first to receive it. So we will get started in Switzerland. It will get started a little in Japan, Israel, Canada, and the countries that have placed orders. But I will not be able to send product to countries that have not placed orders, said Bansal. The longer they wait, the longer it will take, he told AFP, adding that the price is not an issue in talks with the Europeans, and declining to comment further on the negotiations. The European Commission, which has signed deals with Pfizer and other manufacturers, said the negotiations were highly complex. Are we simply concluding contracts because all of a sudden there are some nice press reports about the status of this vaccine? That is clearly not the case, Commission spokesman Stefan D. Kermaker said Tuesday at a briefing. The Americans, on the other hand, have been most eager, Bansal noted. As early as March 2, said Bansal, he and other big pharma executives were sitting in the White House in a meeting with President Donald Trump. Load up the trucks. In April, the U.S. paid $500 million to provide Moderna with the funds to carry out clinical trials. Bansal said his company had received $2,500,000,000 in U.S. government money under Operation Warp Speed. The initiative Trump unveiled with much fanfare May 15 to work with industry to develop a vaccine to stop the pandemic. Operation Warp Speed has been one of the most efficient things, he told AFP. He said Moderna began talks with several European countries in May, but none provided any money upfront for clinical trials. This was undertaken completely by the U.S. government, and it was fortunate that it did. Otherwise, we would never have been able to develop a vaccine so quickly, Bansal said. He said the clinical trials alone cost $1 billion. So Americans might start getting vaccinated by the end of the year, he said. 10 million doses should be in storage and ready to go by the end of November. And by the end of the year, this will go up to 20 million, the CEO said. The goal, he said, is that once Moderna gets the green light from the FDA, the company can load up the trucks and get moving.